So today I'm not only going to show you what's in my bag, I'm going to show you some of the more unique equipment that I carry, because I often get questions on the course about some of those things, and I'm going to put a link in the description on what some of those things are. So as you can see, I carry the Zuca LG cart. I use it pretty often on courses where it's possible to use. If it's more inconvenient to use a cart, I'll just carry my pound Octohaul bag, but the Zuca LG cart fits pound bags really well, and so that's why I have the larger cart. Something that is a little bit more unique about my cart is I have this BriggsiWare cart grip that you can find on Infinite Disc, and it's great because it doesn't allow my hands to get burned by the metal of the original handle on the Zuca cart. It also doesn't allow my hands to get freezing cold as it can get cold in colder weather, and it just has a little bit of give to it, so it's a comfortable thing to use. I also have the Infinite Disc power pocket, and I absolutely love it for easy access to some of my putters and approach discs that I have up here. I also have this Infinite Disc retriever sheath. Highly suggest it if you want to preserve your bag zippers and also want a more accessible way to get to your disc retriever. This is a great cheap item that I love having on my bag. Also love the Infinite Disc Foam Mini or Knee Mini. It's just got so much give that I use this for knee putts all the time. It saves me from rocks and branches and roots. I also have chalk on the side here that Infinite Disc sells, and I have this surf wax as well that I use for grip, and both things are really nice to give me some extra grip. I also have the FlighTowel, and what's unique about the FlighTowel, if you don't know, is it comes with part of a disc so that you can practice throwing like backhand or forehand and get some reps in. I also have the Infinite Disc waffle towels, which absorb moisture really well. So that's some of the unique equipment that I have, and I guess this is not as unique, but I'll just mention it anyway. I have the Bushnell rangefinder, and for those that don't know why Bushnell is the #1 rangefinder probably in disc golf, it's because it also displays your distances in feet, and most average rangefinders don't display the distance in feet, and that's what I love about the Bushnell. So anyways, that's all kind of unique equipment that's in my bag. Just a second, I'm going to break down the discs that are in my bag. All right, now that I got all the discs out of my bag, I just figured it'd be easier and quicker and more accessible. I'm going to start with my putting putters. I still putt with the Infinite Discs Alpaca. I love it because it feels great. It feels, if you're familiar with the Discmania P2, it's basically the same mold. And I putt with this disc in basically every plastic. Right now I have the R blend as we're in the colder months, but if it's rainy, I love using the X blend. If it's just a normal average day, the D blend's great. And if it's super hot outside, the P blend is great. But the Alpaca is a nice beadless putter with just a little bit of overstability, feels great in the hand. And I have this other one for my outside the circle putts. I'm gonna move on to my overstable approach disc, and that's a Zone, and I use it in different plastics as well because of the weather. Right now I have the Z-Flex Zone in my bag. As it's colder, I like a little bit of a more bendy plastic in the cold because it definitely hardens up when it's cold outside, and so I have it. Usually I'll use a Z-Zone during average temperature, warmer temperature. And then I got my favorite straight disc, which is the Latitude 64 Pure. And I love them in the Opto plastic or the Opto X, but usually the Opto plastic is my favorite. I have Innova Color Glow Rhino, and I specifically love this plastic because it's a little bit softer, and I don't feel the bead as much because I'm not a very, I don't really like using discs with beads, and so this one I don't really feel the bead on, but I love this disc. And then I have the Axiom Envy in the Neutron plastic. So that is a breakdown of my putters and approach discs. All right, let's talk mid-ranges. I don't use mid-ranges as much because I love throwing my putters, specifically, oh, there's my cat. Specifically the Pure, I love throwing this disc as much as I can because I can kind of put it on any line, and I have this disc in different wears. But let's start with the Infinite Disc Anubis or Anubis, I don't know how to say it, but it's the Color Glow C blend is my favorite blend of plastic for most discs, but specifically this disc because it's nice and flat and it just goes dead straight for you, and I highly suggest any level of player trying this disc out. I also have the Infinite Disc Chariot, and this is very similar to like a Discmania MD3, straight with just a little bit of fade. And then speaking of Discmania, I have two discs that I'll probably try to replace. If you have any suggestions for what to replace it with, I'll take it. And that is the Discmania MD4, and I have these two in different wears. This one is way understable and this one's overstable. It just is a great disc for me. I love how all these discs feel very similar. They're all basically beadless and flat top, and so they just fit really well in my hand. But that is my mid-ranges. All right, now I'm gonna move on to my fairway drivers. Got a lot of them. We'll start with my slowest one and most unstable, and that is my G-Star Leopard. I love using this for turnovers. This is my cat Hank, by the way. He always loves getting in the middle of everything. Gotta love him. But I use this for turnovers and hyzer flips. This is my Infinite Splatter S-Blend Centurion. Absolutely love this disc. Dead straight flyer. And then I got my Infinite Metal Flake Glow Exodus. This is becoming one of my favorites. I'm so glad I found the right plastic for me for an Exodus. I think a lot of people should try this disc. Is very similar to like an Eagle or a T-Bird. Highly suggest trying this one out. I have an iBlend Sphinx. I use this for really quick turnovers or rollers. I'm not great at rollers, but this one I am starting to get used to being able to roll, so I love the Infinite Sphinx for that. I have these two Scepters, one's in C blend and one's in Metal Flake Color Glow C blend. This one's more understable, this one's more overstable. These have replaced my Firebirds. Absolutely love throwing these discs. I have this Innova DX Beast. This is for really quick flip rollers. For me, I'm again starting to really get into the roller game, and so this one is just a really easy disc to throw and put on roller lines. And then I have the Infinite Disc Aztec. This one is in the iBlend plastic, and this one is in the Metal Flake Color Glow C blend plastic. Both really long flyers for me and totally different feels and flights. That leaves us with the distance drivers. Excited to show you what I got this year. I have this S-Blend Maya. If the Aztec is not going to go far enough for me, or I just want something with a little bit different of a feel, I pull out the Maya. It's very similar to that yellow Aztec that I showed you. Understable, great hyzer flip disc, great turnover disc for me. Absolutely love the Maya, especially in the S-Blend plastic. If you have a Domi or Maya, let me know, because I love any Maya that has a little bit of a dome to it, and so that's why this one's in my bag. I also have this Infinite Disc Slab, and it is the exact opposite of the Infinite Maya. It is very flat top, very overstable. It is my favorite forehand roller disc, so I love using this for get out of trouble shots, and that's basically what I exclusively use it for. I might use it for an occasional forehand or spike hyzer, but for the most part, that's what I'm using the slab for. And it's, as you can see, super flat top. And then I have my destroyers. I'm hoping to try out an Emperor this year, and I'll get to that a little bit later, but I still have these Star Destroyers, and this is kind of from the Avery Jenkins 2009-ish era. And I absolutely love them. This one is a little bit more understable. This one, it's got a little bit more stability, probably my go-to destroyer when I'm just wanting some good distance. And then this one is a little bit more overstable, and it's a bottom stamp. I love the destroyer, and this one's probably my most overstable destroyer currently in my bag. It's a newer one, and it's a bottom stamp destroyer. I have these. This is probably my farthest flying disc in my bag. This is the Infinite Disc Pharaoh. It's a little bit more understable than the Destroyer, a little bit faster, but if I'm wanting max distance, this is the one that I'm reaching for right now. Really great distance driver. It's similar to like an Innova Shrike, but I think it has a little bit more stability, especially this Metal Flake Color Glow run that I got. I know that there's some newer Metal Flake Color Glow runs that aren't quite as stable, and I like them too, but this is a test run that I have in my bag currently. And then I got kind of this unique disc that I used to throw years ago that I've been trying back out again. It's a G-Star Vulcan, which is kind of a weird disc to have in the bag, but it's really understable and really easy for me to throw, especially if I'm in awkward footing situations but need some distance. I'll pull this out, or also on some longer distance rollers. I'm trying to work this one in on that line as well. I'm going to break down just a few other unique discs that are going to be cycling in and out of my bag here. See, I have this stack of discs to my right that I didn't talk about, and I want to just kind of show some discs that'll be cycling in and out of my bag this year. It might even make my bag for the long term. And the first one here is the Emperor, and I was talking about it earlier. This is in the concrete plastic, which is like a luster metal flake plastic. I find it from my hand just to be a little bit too deep, and it'll probably be a little bit too overstable. I haven't actually thrown this one, it's brand new, but just the feel in the hand is a little bit too deep for me, so I want to try the iBlend plastic. I think stability-wise it's going to be good for me because I'm not a super long thrower, but I think it's going to feel a little bit less deep in the hand. But I'm still excited to even try this one out. I've just heard so many good things about the Emperor and how far they fly, so that's one of the discs I'll probably be cycling in and out of my bag. I have this other Latitude 64 Pure that's a little bit more overstable that I'll probably be using again. Can't speak highly enough about Pure. I want to get my forehand back in order. I've really lost a lot of distance on my forehand lately, so I'm trying to get my forehand back to where it used to be. And so I have this Innova Champ X Cal that I'm hoping to cycle in and out of my bag if I need a little bit more stability than the Destroyer. And this one is super flat top, and that's what I like about the X Cal when I can find them that way. I have this other really sweet looking Metal Flake Color Glow C-Blend Exodus that has got a little bit more stability. It's probably going to make a permanent spot in my bag because I think I'm going to start carrying two Exodus, one that's a little bit straighter, one that is newer, and so this one's probably going to be in my bag really soon. I have this concrete slab that I haven't used. This one also might go in my bag because the other slab that I have is a little bit beat up, and so I think I'm going to put a more overstable one in my bag as well. And then I have this other Centurion that flies very similar to my other one. I'm not sure if I need two Centurions in the bag, but this one might be making a few appearances throughout the year. And then I have the disc known as the Avocado, as Aaron Wharton has called it, and I love that name. It is a pre-flight number destroyer that is super flippy, and it might be coming in and out of my bag a lot throughout the year. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch my In the Bag for the 2022 season. Catch you later.